Toronto Blue Jays 2025 season: A Journey to the Fall Classic. Part 1: The Foundation. Introduction. Third person. The city of Toronto had waited long enough. After years of near misses and playoff heartbreaks, the 2025 season felt different from the very beginning. The Blue Jays organization had rebuilt their roster with surgical precision, blending homegrown talent with strategic veteran acquisitions that would prove crucial in their historic run. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. stood at the center of it all, having recently extended his contract to remain the cornerstone of this franchise. His presence in the lineup was more than just statistical dominance. It was a statement of intent, a promise to the faithful fans who packed Rogers Center night after night. Alongside him, Bo Bichette represented the heart and soul of Toronto's infield, a dynamic shortstop whose journey through injury would become one of the season's most compelling storylines. The front office had been aggressive in the offseason, signing power-hitting outfielder Anthony Santander to bolster the lineup's run production and bringing in the legendary Max Scherzer to anchor a rotation that already featured Kevin Gausman's electric stuff. Jeff Hoffman joined the bullpen on a 3-year deal, instantly upgrading the late-inning options that had plagued the team in previous campaigns. But it wasn't just about the big names. Andrés Giménez provided Gold Glove caliber defense at second base, while quietly improving his offensive contributions. Young Addison Barger emerged at third base, bringing youthful energy and surprising pop to the hot corner. Utility man Isiah Kiner Falefa became the Swiss Army knife the coaching staff leaned on during the inevitable grind of a 162-game season. Behind the plate, Alejandro Kirk continued his development as the everyday catcher, his ability to handle a diverse pitching staff becoming increasingly vital as the season progressed. The outfield featured the defensive wizardry of Myles Straw in center, whose range and base-running intelligence saved countless runs. Davis Schneider added versatility, capable of playing multiple positions and providing offensive sparks off the bench. Even the backup catcher, veteran Tyler Heineman, would play crucial roles in key moments throughout the campaign. The rotation depth extended beyond Gausman and Scherzer. Chris Bassitt brought veteran savvy as a reliable arm who could swing between starting and long relief, depending on the team's needs. Perhaps most exciting was rookie Trey Yesavage, a top prospect who made his major league debut in 2025, representing not just the present but the future of Blue Jays baseball. Mason Fluharty balanced the bullpen from the left side, giving manager the matchup flexibility essential in October baseball. As spring training broke and the regular season began, nobody could have predicted the exact path this team would take. But one thing was certain: Toronto was built for a deep run, constructed with the kind of roster balance that championship teams require. The pieces were in place. The talent was undeniable. Now it was time to see if they could execute when it mattered most. Part 2: The Journey. Hi legends. I'm here to tell you about a season that changed everything for us in Toronto. When opening day arrived, you could feel the electricity in the air. Vladdy was locked in from the first pitch, crushing balls to all fields and setting the tone for what we hoped would be a special year. But let me tell you, it wasn't smooth sailing from the start. Around mid-season, we hit a rough patch when Bo Bichette went down with a knee injury. Losing your everyday shortstop, a guy who brings that kind of energy and production, it tests a team's character. That's when guys like Andrés Giménez stepped up huge. His defense at second base was absolutely elite. Addison Barger at third base was a revelation. This kid came up and just played with zero fear, hitting home runs in big spots and making plays that had us all jumping out of our seats. What I loved about this team was the depth. When someone went down, there was always someone ready. Isiah Kiner Falefa filled in at multiple positions throughout the year, and every time we needed him, he delivered. Anthony Santander did exactly what we brought him in to do. He punished fastballs and gave us that middle-of-the-order presence that makes pitchers uncomfortable. As a DH and corner outfielder, he was exactly the run producer we needed. The pitching staff was something special too. Kevin Gausman was an absolute horse, eating innings and striking out hitters in crucial situations. But having Max Scherzer on this team, man, that was surreal. Here's a guy who's done it all, won multiple Cy Youngs, pitched in countless big games, and he brought this intensity to every bullpen session and every start. Young guys like Trey Yesavage watched and learned from him. And you could see that rookie growing more confident with each outing. The bullpen became our secret weapon. Jeff Hoffman was lights out in high leverage situations, and manager trusted him in the biggest moments. Mason Fluharty gave us that left-handed option we desperately needed. And he got some absolutely huge outs against tough lefty hitters down the stretch. Alejandro Kirk behind the plate was calling games like a veteran, managing this diverse pitching staff with maturity beyond his years. Tyler Heineman, our backup catcher, he knew his role and executed it perfectly. Whenever Kirk needed a breather. The regular season was a grind, but we stayed in the race. There were walk-off wins, comeback victories, and games where the bullpen held leads by the thinnest of margins. Miles Straw in center field made catches that saved games. His defensive range was incredible. And his speed on the bases created runs out of nowhere. Davis Schneider became a fan favorite with his clutch hitting and ability to play wherever we needed him. When the playoff push came, everything intensified. Part 3 The Fall Classic. When we clinched our playoff spot, Rogers Center erupted like I'd never seen before. But we knew the real work was just beginning. The postseason is a different beast. Entirely every pitch matters, every at-bat could be your last, and the margin for error completely disappears. Our first series tested us immediately. But Gausman delivered a masterful performance in Game 1. And Vladdy hit a home run that will be replayed in Toronto forever. The ALCS against the Mariners was an absolute war. Both teams were evenly matched, and the position-by-position breakdown showed just how tight this series would be. We had to use every player on our roster. Chris Bassett came out of the bullpen in a critical Game 4 situation and gave us 3 huge innings, preserving our bullpen for the rest of the series. Scherzer pitched Game 5 on short rest and gutted through 6 innings of pure determination. That's what champions do. Then came Bo Bichette's return for the World Series. The front office and medical staff had to make a tough call. And they decided he was ready. Seeing Bo back in the lineup, even at a new position because of his knee, gave the entire team a boost. His first at-bat in the Fall Classic. He lined a double into the gap, and you could just feel the momentum shift. The World Series against the Dodgers was everything we dreamed about. 2 star-studded rosters, both desperate for a championship. We made some surprising roster decisions before Game 1, going with 12 pitchers and 14 position players, trusting our depth and versatility. Those decisions paid off in ways we couldn't have imagined. Game 1 in Los Angeles, Vladdy went deep twice. Santander drove in 3 runs. Hoffman closed it out with a perfect 9th inning. The entire dugout was buzzing. Game 2, we faced elimination-level pitching. And Jimenez made 3 defensive gems that prevented runs. Kirk called a brilliant game, and our pitchers executed perfectly. The series went back and forth, every game decided by 2 runs or fewer. When we returned to Toronto for Games 6 and 7, Rogers Center was absolutely deafening. I'll never forget Game 6. Barger hit a clutch 2-run homer in the 7th inning. And Straw made a diving catch in center that robbed them of extra bases. Game 7 was pure tension. Scherzer started, leaving everything on the mound for 6 innings. The bullpen, Hoffman, Fluharty, and others combined for 3 scoreless innings. In the bottom of the 8th, Vladdy drove in the go-ahead run with a sacrifice fly that felt like destiny. The final out, Hoffman struck out their cleanup hitter on a nasty slider, and chaos erupted. 40 years of waiting, of heartbreak, of what-ifs, all of it washed away in that single moment. We rushed the field, piling on top of each other, tears mixing with champagne. Kirk held the ball high. Vladdy hoisted the trophy, and Bo, fighting through pain, celebrated with everyone. That's our story, legends. The 2025 Toronto Blue Jays, built on talent, forged through adversity, and united by a single goal. We proved that depth matters, that veterans lead, that young players can deliver. And that when a team truly comes together, magic happens. This roster, these players, this season, we'll remember it forever. And Toronto, you deserved every second of it.